Hello, my name is Criselda Lopez and I'm a jewelry artist from El Paso. Today we're going to be making a narrative jewelry piece. I have a fine arts degree from UTEP with a major in metals and a minor in ceramics, and I also have a master's in education. I have participated in shows here locally as well as in exhibits locally, nationally, and internationally. So I will show you some of my work and I'll also tell you about it. The first piece is a rubber band necklace with 14 karat gold. And what I have done is connected the rubber bands together by sewing them. I have dyed them and then I have hand manipulated gold and connected the rubber bands along with the gold for this first piece. For the second piece I'm showing you, it is a mixed media necklace. For this one I have die cut the pieces. I've also dyed them and woven them together. Then I also connected some pieces of hand fabricated silver and I integrated it all together into a neck piece. For this last piece, the name is the Franklin Mountains. For this one I have fused plastic bags and then I have die cut them, woven them together and integrated them with hand fabricated silver, such as the pieces that I have here, and connected them together. Now for most of my pieces, or I should say for all of my pieces, I use materials that are just mundane, normal, everyday materials. I manipulate them in some way, maybe I dye them and I connect them together, and then I hand fabricate either silver or gold components, and then I integrate these pieces and put them together as one jewelry piece. So now I will talk about a little bit about my inspiration, and I will also show you some jewelry pieces. The first piece is by Young Yu Kim, and this is a brooch. It's made out of many pieces of paper put together. It is gorgeous, and once again what I'm showing you is just the paper, the materials that these jewelry pieces are made out of, and yet they're beautiful pieces. The next piece is from Emiko Oye. Emiko uses Legos in her work. And in this particular piece, she has put them together in a monochrome style into a necklace in a beautiful composition as well. For this last piece, piece number 3, I have a necklace done by Denise Julia Reitan. And what she does is that she puts objects together in a bright and colorful way. This one in particular is a necklace, and I think it's beautifully put together and it works just amazing. Once again, the composition, the materials, and the color. And that is exactly what I'm inspired by from all these designers, from all these artists. I'm amazed by the materials that they use. I like the way they integrate them into a contemporary jewelry piece. And I like the fun that they have with the material and the color and the process. So this is why I'm inspired by these pieces and these artists. So once again, today what we're going to be doing is a narrative piece of jewelry. We're going to be telling a piece of jewelry that tells a story. Now think about what it is that you want to tell in your story. Maybe it is a family story that's been handed down into generations. Or maybe it is a story only about you. Maybe it only describes you. Think about what it is that you'd like to say, and then we'll meet you back. Okay, so now that you have your story in mind, or whatever it is that you'd like to say, we're going to talk about the materials. I have some either string or yarn or something like this so we can put it together, and what I will be making is a necklace. You don't have to make a necklace, you can make your own piece of jewelry, maybe earrings or a bracelet, whatever you like. I also have some tags here and I'll show you how you can use them. I have scissors, I have pliers, I have this hand drill that is very handy. You don't have to have a hand drill, it depends on what materials that you use. But something that also works would be a hole puncher. Then I have this box. This box helps me with the drilling. When I drill, I don't want to drill through the table, so if I use this box, when I drill, it will go through the box and not through the table. I also have here some beads that you could use. You could also be using buttons, different kinds of beads, different kinds of colors of beads. And then I have my jewelry components. If you don't have any jewelry components, think about other things that you can use. Maybe you have a chain that belonged to your grandmother and you want to integrate it. Or maybe you have some earrings that are very special to you and you want to integrate them in your piece of jewelry. I have here these components that I have done, so I want to integrate them in my piece of jewelry. I also have these cubes that I'm going to be turning into beads. And then I have these little objects, and these little objects are going to be a very special component to my jewelry piece because these were gifted to me by my daughter, and this piece will be about my daughter and myself. Okay, so now that you have your story and your materials, I'm going to tell you what we're going to be doing with them. First of all, one thing that you can do is drill them. For example, like I said, I want to drill some of these little cubes into my own beads. So you're going to manipulate these objects. Maybe you didn't want one of the components that you found in that color, so you might want to spray paint it. You might want to tweak it, and then what we're going to do is position our objects, position them in such a way that you are telling this story all the way around, okay? So once again, you really need to keep your story in your mind. Think of what it is that you want to say, and then position the objects so that you are telling that story with the objects all together. I will be trying out mine and then I will be explaining it too. Okay, so like I said, I want to make these little cubes my beads. So now I need to drill them. So I will be using my hand drill. So I have drilled all of my beads, the beads that I will be using, and I've decided to drill 9 of these. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I have decided to use 9 because my daughter is 9 years old. So this will be representing her, and it is also in our favorite color, both hers and I. Okay, so I've drilled all my cubes. I have them right here. And now what I'd like to do is to put all the pieces, all of the components in, more or less think about this story and position them in a way where it looks balanced. So for example, I'm going to be doing the 9 cubes right here, because like I said, she is 9 years old. And then on this side, I will be using these components that I already have also. They are pieces of plastic connected with silver. And what these are going to represent are both myself and my daughter, okay? And so these are about the same color. I want to have them on the opposite side. So I will be putting these here and then these over here. So once again, these two are my daughter and myself, and this is her age. Okay, so I will be continuing putting on the components that I have here. For example, her little gifts that she's been giving me since she was around 5 years old. So I will be putting these together, and these will probably be in the center. And then I will be putting other things such as my silver pieces. And these, of course, will be representing me and what I do, which is contemporary jewelry. And so what I'm doing, along with the components that I already had in the silver, what I'm doing is that I'm building my piece already. It's not strung together yet, so that I can still change the position of the component and see where I like it best. So I'm working visually to make my piece of jewelry, and I'm integrating the components that I want, okay? Thank you. So once again, I will be using this string. I actually decided to bring in a yellow because I think this will contrast in a very positive way with the colors that I already have than these two. So I think I will be using my yellow instead. So what I will be doing is that I will be connecting all of these pieces with this string like this and using knots. So I've knotted my first one, and what I will be doing is double knotting it so that the knot does not come undone. Once it is in the right place, then I can go ahead and use my scissors so that I can cut the excess off. Now, as you can see, you're going to be able to see my string. If you don't want to be using any string, maybe what you can do is use your pliers and use jump rings to connect. So I have finished putting my components together. Now my necklace is not finished yet, but my components are in the place where I want them. So to tell you my story, this is a story about my daughter and myself. I am a metalsmith and an artist, so this is what that represents. I am warm, creative, and tenacious. And these are little objects that connect me to my daughter. She is bright and tenacious in her own way too. And she is 9 years old. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I have decided to use these beads to represent all of the memories that we have made together while traveling, while being just here at home, maybe cooking, maybe watching TV. We have many memories, and so this is what these beads represent. So now what I will do is that I will put my necklace together. I will be using one of these strings, whichever one I think will work a little bit better. I will then have it together and then I will display it. So I am stringing my pieces together and I'm noticing that I'm having a little bit of trouble. And I'm thinking you guys might be having the same trouble, so I want to tell you the little trick that I'm using. What I will be using in my string is I will be putting a piece of tape at the end, and then I will be folding the tape like this so that it sticks together. Once it is like this, I can go ahead and cut off the part where I don't have the string and then keep the part where I have the string, and this will act just like a needle because it's a little sturdier than just the string. So see how easy now I'm able to string my beads? So what I will be doing now is finishing stringing the beads, putting it all together, and then I brought in this mannequin so that I can display my piece and tell you the story all over again, and this is the way we will finish. So I am finishing up my piece and I will now be displaying it here in the mannequin and telling you the story again. Okay, so this narrative jewelry piece that I made is about my daughter and myself. I am a metalsmith, I work with jewelry. I am warm, I am tenacious, and I am creative. And these are small pieces that connect me to my daughter. These have been little gifts that she maybe found in the playground or so, and she came home to give them to me. She is also a tenacious and bright girl who is 9 years old. And these are the memories that we have done together. So this is my narrative piece. I'd like to know about yours. Make sure you share your pieces with us. Make sure you share them with the museum. I also have an Instagram page and a Facebook page if you'd like to follow me. And please connect. We'd love love to see what you come up with. Thank you.